Moms for Liberty, fresh off their string of devastating losses and scandals, including ties to the far-right group Proud Boys, now have a new scandal. Turns out a leader in their group is a convicted sex offender. Wow. Ironic. Phillip Fisher Jr., who leads the Center of Universal Divinity and Only, which helps connect the right-wing group with local faith leaders in order to boost membership, had a prior sex offender conviction. Leaders say they're shocked to learn that he pleaded guilty back in 2012 to a felony count of aggravated sexual abuse of a 14-year-old boy when he was at the age of 25. This is reported in the Philadelphia Inquirer. Now, Fisher insists, I didn't do anything wrong, despite pleading guilty to one of 12 counts filed against him after an investigation by the Chicago Police Department. So this happened in Chicago. He was living in Philadelphia. He moved to Chicago and then moved back to Philadelphia, where he's currently doing this work for Moms for Liberty. So now, this is according to court records obtained by the Inquirer. Now, Fisher claims that his conviction is, it's because he was railroaded. Yes, that's it. He was blamed by the Campaign or Political Action Committee of the late Lyndon LaRouche. So he had worked for that campaign and describes the group around him as a cult that ended up setting him up with these, in his words, fake charges. At the time, he said, I was a victim. What they did was essentially trumped up charges to drown out the complaints that I had, that I was making, and the issues of human rights. So wait. You were working for Lyndon LaRouche, and you were making some arguments, human rights? And then that somebody was violating human rights or something? And so they came back and essentially framed you or something with this, like sexually assaulting and abusing a 14-year-old. I don't understand. How is this? This is a conspiracy. Let me tell you what. It just boggles the mind here. Okay. Now, the charging documents allege that Fisher had oral and anal sex with the 14-year-old boy back in January of 2011. Sentenced to 3 years in prison and given credit for nearly 20 months, he spent in jail waiting for the case to come to court, followed by 2 years of supervised release. And by law, he's currently now required to be on the sex offender registry, which you think you would come up if he's trying to work for Moms for Liberty. You would think that that was something that they would check, right? Well, according to Sheila Armstrong, who chairs the local Moms for Liberty chapter in that area, she confirmed that Fisher had been active in the community outreach efforts and expressed concerns to the Inquirer that children were involved in those events. She said she was particularly surprised by his conviction because she had received a child abuse history certification in Fisher's name from the State Department of Human Services last week so that he could volunteer at an upcoming Christmas party for a nonprofit. The DHS noted that not all criminal convictions involving minors are considered child abuse under state law and thus would not come up in the state's database for perpetrators of child abuse. Weird. Okay. Odd. Look, here's the thing. He was convicted and sentenced, and now comes the irony where he's in a group where they claim to be protecting the children from child abusers, which again, no. This is super ironic, okay? The truth is that Moms for Liberty is not a group that is interested in protecting children. What they are is a religious hate group that is attempting to indoctrinate people and to basically eliminate books that mention LGBTQ plus themes. And, ironically, racism. So, not only that, but Moms for Liberty wants to push children towards religion, where a lot of sexual abuse actually takes place. So this so-called parents' rights group, which is not, it's officially a hate group, they're taking resources away in the form of books from children who are abused, okay, in the form, again, of these books that help identify and give support to victims of abuse when it happens. A lot of the states that have banned books have mentioned that they're banning books because they talk about, sexual situations, possibly even assault. Now, some of those books, those experiences can actually help minors identify when they're being abused so that they can go to a parent or an authority figure and be able to say, look, this is what's happening to me. I learned about this, and now I realize I'm a victim, okay? So if you're banning these books that can help survivors, well, then you're actually, whether you mean it or not, you're helping people who are predators, okay? You're helping abusers. So to me, it makes sense that if you're an abuser, then you would join a group like Moms for Liberty who wants to get rid of these resources, okay? It's just like the same thing. It's like if you're somebody who, and we've had, stories that I've talked about this before, people who have been convicted of pedophilia or, assaulting a minor, joining QAnon. I mean, the group that's supposedly out there hunting pedos. Oh, yeah, QAnon. We know where the real pedos are. They're in the Democratic Party and in Hollywood, yes? Wait, no, it's you guys. Some of you in there have these histories. Who are you trying to fool? Like, what are you trying to do? Yeah, you're trying to join groups that basically do distraction. So that, I don't know, you can get away from your past and find new victims. I don't know, but certainly it takes away resources from actual victims of pedophilia or of child trafficking, et cetera, et cetera. And again, numerous organizations that actually do help victims of pedophilia and child trafficking point at QAnon and say, they're not helping us. They're not doing anything. They're actually making it worse by running cover for predators. And so that's what I think could be happening here, although I don't know for sure. Okay. Now, and Fischer was asked about this, and he said, well, of course they should have known, meaning Moms for Liberty. I mean, I never actually went out of my way to hide anything. I'm in the database. It's an easy search. What, did Moms for Liberty drop the ball on this one, or did they not care? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm buying the whole I was railroaded by a cult excuse. Okay? It's really out there. I haven't heard that one before. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but boy, does it seem rather unlikely. So either way, I'm gonna have to, see what kind of response Moms for Liberty has on this one. The latest scandal involving that group, and probably not going to be the last.